Next summer, I returned back to dishwashing at the restaurant and picking up hours in Mr. Hanley's repair shop. This was also the year Sophia turned 16. This is a milestone in anyone's life, but for Sophia, you'd think it was a national press event. Sophia was offered an opportunity that, according to her whole life depended upon. The family of a friend of Sophia was going to Hawaii for a week vacation, and they invited Sophia to come with them. They would pay her food and lodging, but Sophia needed to cover the airfare. I later came to learn that Sophia's friend specifically invited Sophia because she wanted to be covered in Sophia's Instagram channel. You'd think Sophia had won the lottery. All she kept on talking about was all of the unique photos she could take, the flowers she could wear in her hair, and all of the ocean scenes she could put together. Of course, she had absolutely no money for this, so like always, she asked our parents, who would inevitably say yes. My sister was becoming a full spoiled brat narcissist. Though this family was covering a good portion of the trip, it still left a couple of grand for the airfare. But the trip would be more than this. Sophia insisted she needed an entire new wardrobe set for the trip. With this expense, the Hawaiian trip was close to $5 grand, money my parents didn't have. So my parent came to me. My mother was the first to break the news. Brandon, we're coming up on a lot of expenses right now, and we could really use your help. What can you do? Since I was working my summer job, I was saving up money for school expenses, so I did have a few grand in the bank. However, I wasn't going to tell Mom that. Rather, I let my frustration come out. Mom, this is for Sophia, isn't it? Why doesn't she get a job like I have to do? They gave me the old line of how we were both different with different needs. I was more mature and self-sufficient. Sophia was more complex with unique needs. What that really meant was they could ignore me while dotting on Sophia. We came to an agreement that I would pay next month's rent ahead of time. That, along with the current rent, covered about half of Sophia's budget. Behind the scenes, I'm pretty sure they put the rest of the trip on their credit cards. With the finances lined up, Sophia and Mom planned her trip with the precision of moving a house. They discussed what outfits she would wear to restaurant dinners, the best waterproof makeup, the appropriate lounge and casual wear, and of course, what she would wear on the beach. All of this meant trips to Nordstrom, Macy's, and specialty boutiques. They eventually purchased so much, they couldn't stuff it all into the one suitcase the airline allowed. Instead, my dad sent the overflow as a package to the hotel, where she'd be staying at. Sophia left on the trip and gave our folks regular updates. I thought she'd be posting during her trip. Instead, she saved all of the images to be posted after she came home. It turns out, sorting through all of the photos, picking the best ones, and then editing them would be a full-time job for Sophia for a week. I couldn't help but wonder if the parents who invited her that they'd be dealing with a self-centered narcissist. Within a month after Sophia celebrated her 16th birthday with a trip to Hawaii, she celebrated another milestone. She achieved 10,000 followers. You'd think that she came home with a report card with straight A's the way my parent reacted. The photos she scheduled out of the Hawaii trip pushed her followers to this milestone. This only convinced Sophia that big things made big engagement and that she was on the right track. But there was a bigger point to this. At 10,000 followers, she had enough of a following to get an agent. She was now what they called a micro-influencer, meaning she would now be worthy of advertising as an influencer. For Sophia, this is what it was all about. Apparently she was living such an awesome life that advertisers were willing to pay to be part of it. Mom insisted we needed a family celebration for this, which meant a custom-ordered cake. My celebrations never meant anything more than a sheet cake with a generic, happy birthday written on it. Sophia was now convinced that she was on the right track, that she needed to do more and bigger, all the while living a life of pleasure and ease.